Hey guys, this is Sam Anderson, and thanks for joining us on another episode of the You Can't Afford Me podcast. Now, you guys have heard me preaching about AI, but I gotta confess, I'm not an expert. I know a few things, but I don't know it all. So today we're going to dive all the way into AI, how you can integrate this into your business, into your life. And I got the guy for you today. Today we have on the podcast, Aniruthd. How you doing today, buddy?
Outstanding, Sam. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. So real quick, in 30 to 60 seconds, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
My name is Aniruthd, and I'm a video game designer by profession and passion, and I've been crafting video games for 13 years now. And then I've delved into what's called gamification, and then now I'm integrating gamification and AI to fuel businesses to create a fan-centric approach, because customers are not what you as a coach or consultant or business are looking for. You're looking for fans.
Awesome. Now, this first question just popped in my head. Because, in our hustle mode as entrepreneurs, we're told, get off of Netflix, get off the video games, blah, blah, blah.
Absolutely.
But in your profession, what are the benefits to gaming? What does that do for our mental state, for our mind?
Well, honestly, games are the only means that could get you into the flow state in the shortest possible time. So you could get into the flow state instantly with no real life reward, and you're not even seeking for it. You won't be getting food coupons or getting paid or anything of that sort. So there is no external drive for playing video games. But gamification is an art of adapting the motivational and addictive elements from video games and apply it to your contexts, especially in entrepreneurship, to create a fan-centric approach. Right? How could you make your products more engaging? How could you make your services more addictive? So how could you create fans out of it? So the fandom could be gotten from video games into your business. That could really change the due course of your company. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be a gamer or a game designer to do that. But gamification asks a different question. It starts when marketing ends. Marketing asks the question, why am I special? What are my USPs? Why are my services awesome? Gamification asks a different question. It says, what drives you to engage in something voluntarily? Right? So if we adapt that approach, Nike has done it. The big names have done it. Domino's with its Pizza Point reward system has done it. Regal Cinemas have done it, and I believe that it's going to only go big.
Gotcha. So with that, thinking of that, because I've always translated not just entrepreneurship but life into a game of Monopoly, and it's owning as much as you can, owning as many properties as you can, owning as many businesses as you can, paying your taxes on time, and staying out of jail.
Absolutely. Yeah,
staying out of jail. That's the game. Yeah. So for you, with your business model and what it is that you're doing, you're ultimately creating this, I don't want to say quick fix, but I think as entrepreneurs and as humans, just the way we're wired, once we put in a certain amount of effort, we do want to see some sort of result,
right.
Which is why it's difficult for a lot of people, like in physical fitness, where you're in the gym for 2 months and visibly you're not seeing the results you want to see on the scale or in the mirror. But that doesn't mean that progress isn't happening. With your model and the way you're training entrepreneurs to think and use systems like gamification, this is an opportunity for them to get these short wins so that they continue on in the long term.
Indeed. So it's fundamentally creating an ecosystem with gamification and AI, an ecosystem that's massive and engaging. Bottom line is, you turn your business into a playground for adding value and creating a micro-consumable content in various formats. And AI scales it fast. Right? It's only a tool and methodology. Ultimately, if you're able to turn your business into a playground from day one, people voluntarily want to engage, and it's easier to create communities. It's easier to sell your products, and your marketing budgets drops down significantly.
See, even hearing you say this and explain this, I'm thinking credit card companies have been gamifying forever. It's a thought process that I can spend money and get something for it on the back end, whether that's airline points, reward points, cash back, whatever it is. So this isn't a new concept, but the way you're applying it to business, this is something new that a lot of entrepreneurs can integrate into their business.
Indeed. Airlines, in fact, I'm glad that you brought that example. It's not a new concept, but the way airlines have been doing it and some of the initial versions of gamification, it's more of you do this and you get this kind of a system. It's basically mounted on reward-based system with basic aspects like from games like points and badges. They work well only to an extent because reward-based gamification is an extremely small part of what gamification actually brings to the table. It's creating things that people care for. It's not transactional. The reward system for airlines is more transactional, right? The more you fly, you get the fly points or air points, and then you redeem them for discounts or probably a business class upgrade, stuff like that. That is a great start, but that's not end all be all of gamification, because gamification is about not transactional centric and functional centric approach. It's basically human centric approach. It's turning customers into players or tapping the player abilities within customers so that they voluntarily engage in your ecosystem, as opposed to viewing you as a business and only coming to you when they need you.
Yeah.
Because if that happens, they have choices.
Yep. And that form of marketing and having that sort of ecosystem with your client base, when you really tap into that, probably the best businesses I've seen really tap into that are like specialized like gyms, like CrossFit gyms and things like that, because the community that they build within that organization,
incredible.
Everybody's running out there saying, girl, you got to join me at the next Zumba class, or you got to join this class. Like, they have little to no marketing that they have to pay for because their consumer base is just pushing them so hard.
Precisely.
So I love that idea and that concept. Let's jump in, because a big part of this with your expertise in AI, I want to delve into a lot of that. Number one, just give us the basic definition, like explain on a third grade level, what is AI? Because AI didn't just, come to us this past year. AI has been a technology that's been used for, I want to say, since the 70s or 80s. Kind of talk to us about what is a basic definition of AI. What is AI?
It's creating a digital version of yourself, right? That can think on its own and converse with you smartly. So it's the smartest version of yourself, which is you, but not you at the same time.
Yep.
Right?
I like it.
So for as an entrepreneur, for a company, it's cloning your thoughts, your insights, your wisdom, your experience, and let it make smarter decisions for you and your company. And it understands your company. It understands your cash flow, everything. And it gives you smartest ways possible, smartest solutions. It analyzes massive amounts of data and gives you insights, right? And breaks them down into actionable steps.
Yep.
So AI is a methodology you got to adapt from day one, and you need not be an expert in that. So let's say when it comes to AI, people think, oh, it's too technical. We have to learn large language modeling, neural networks, machine learning. That's if you want to go in artificial intelligence in the technical side. As an entrepreneur, you're just using it, just like you use your cell phone, or you don't know the internals of it, but you use it, right? But my question is, how many of us max out the potential of our phones?
Oh, not nearly as much as
not
we should.
Nearly even 0.5% of our phone, right? We don't even max out our own phones, right? So if you're clear about the scale at which you want to grow, or if you want to be omnipresent, AI can help you do that. And at a fraction of the cost. It cuts off sales budgets. It cuts off a ton of, you're leveraging something that can do the work for you. And the key is not just to learn AI tools. The key is to learn the workflows that are suitable for you as an entrepreneur. There are 8,000 AI tools out there. You don't have to learn everything. It's crazy, right? Like not even the creators learn it. But Do you know just a handful of AI tools that work perfectly and integrate seamlessly for your business? What are, based on your niche, based on your target audience, and based on the way you want to show up, right? Do you do podcasting? Are you heavily into socials, or do you want to do course, or do you want to do a combination of these, right? So accordingly, your workflows will be evolving and adapting, and you got to have those workflows right in front of your desk while you're working.
So let's talk about some of the basic tools that people can use now. And then we're going to start with the most popular, which is ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Prior to you jumping here in the studio, I was sending out some cold emails earlier today, and I had to write maybe a paragraph and a half to explain my model, who I am, that this is a cold email, something about the business, and what I'm trying to express to them.
Right.
Man, that AI system kicked out the most perfect email I've ever seen in my life.
Lovely.
Where it's like, it wasn't too long, it wasn't too short. It said exactly what I needed it to say. And if I had sat there and tried to construct that email by myself, it would have taken me at least 20 to 30 minutes to construct it the way it did. So looking at systems like that, and let's specifically talk about ChatGPT, because last time you and I met, you showed me some pretty cool stuff with ChatGPT I had no idea existed. Right. Number one, I would encourage everybody to sign up for ChatGPT 4.
Yeah.
It's only $20 a month.
Yeah.
The
totally worth it.
3.5 version now is still free.
Yeah.
But there's so many more things you can do with the $20 a month subscription that you can't do with the free base version.
Yeah.
For that person that's listening to this now and they're like, yeah, AI sounds cool, I'm going to do it at some point. What would you say to encourage someone that if you're in business for yourself, you need to be using this tool right now?
It's now or never, because you're actually, as long as you're inactive in AI, using and utilizing AI, you're still exchanging your physical time. So AI exponentially multiplies your physical time and let the things get done for you. So having a very, very effective AI systems and processes, right? You don't form all that framework on day one. You evolve it, right? You start with ChatGPT 3.5, which is the free version, and then you grow in terms of learning and implementation. Over a period of time, you build these systems, right, that work for you. But as long as your inaction is too expensive, right? You're not just leaving the money on the table. You're leaving the 5-figure, 6-figure potential target audience on the table, and you're actually showing your back indirectly.
Yep.
You don't have to be afraid that your competitors would actually take them, but people who are utilizing AI will actually get those first. And people and consumers or customers tend to gravitate towards businesses that are effectively utilizing AI because they feel that they're more reliant.
Yep. 100%. And like looking at that and understanding, my urge to companies and small business owners would be, what the point you just made there is that I think a lot of people look at that. You can look at this traditionally like a stock, like, oh, I should have invested in Amazon when it was at this, or I should have bought Tesla when it was at this. And a lot of people just see those numbers, and that's something tangible.
Right.
I think what a lot of people are missing here is they're not realizing how much money they're letting out the door by not utilizing this, because when I can cut a task in half for one of my employees, something that would have taken them an hour to do on their own, that they're now doing in 15, 20 minutes because of the use of AI technology, I'm now profiting the company more because we're more effective as a team. And I think a lot of people are looking at this and saying, oh, I'll get to it whenever. Like you said, it's do or die. Like the time is right now. You either become an early adapter,
right,
which I'm not even sure, like the phase we're in now is still early adaptation, but I think the masses still haven't caught on. But for those who understand and jump into this technology now, why it's available and why the costs are so low,
right,
they are going to win dramatically more down the road than these others, because their systems for this podcast. Right. So when I upload this podcast, I use an AI tool system with Buzzsprout. That's the system we use to upload podcasts.
Yeah.
They have a co-host AI system that will summarize this entire podcast. And it takes about, I hit the button, I walk away from my desk, and it's done in 10 minutes. It summarizes the entire podcast. It'll create the description in short form that I need for this podcast as well. And now it will literally transcribe the entire episode.
Outstanding. I hope it gets my name right.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll go in and correct that and make sure that's right. But if I had myself or my team physically sit down and do that, you're talking about hours of work.
Yeah.
Now,
Paid work.
Yeah, paid work.
Yeah.
Now I'm telling you, and I paid $10 a month for as many episodes as I want for that system to generate that. Now you're talking about 10 minutes of effort, which the effort on my end is just clicking a button.
Right.
I've dramatically shifted how many clients we can bring on, that we can export their content and do all these different things. So
Absolutely.
people got to wake up, man. Like the revolution is here.
The revolution is here, and it's here to stay, and it's going to go lower in prices, if not higher. But it's just that, you shouldn't be overwhelmed with the number of AI tools, right? Don't get overwhelmed, right? Start with some AI tool, right? Like if there is HeyGen that clones your physical personality and stuff like that. And B, don't be under the illusion of using AI just because you're using ChatGPT, right? Using ChatGPT is not using AI, right? So ChatGPT 3.5, you're just fiddling the surface, right? Unless you have workflows, unless you have at least a dozen tools at your disposal, understanding and utilizing them to get the results that you want for your business, and most importantly, for what your target audience is looking for, you're technically not using AI, right? Unless you're actually building, and it's super easy to build a custom GPT for your business, right?
Yeah, you started to show me the process of that.
Yes. So if you can invest a couple of hours building a custom GPT, like your business name GPT, right? Exclusively for your business, right? And a bunch of custom GPTs for the GPT marketplace, you're actually opening up a source of income. And this custom GPT, you don't have to feed it every single time. You don't have to prompt it. It understands your sales process. It understands everything about your business, either through prompts or through a document that you craft and feed it as food under the section of knowledge, right? It understands these documents. So you just need to ask precise question of what you're looking for, and it spews out. And that's different from using ChatGPT 3.5. Now, use ChatGPT 3.5 alongside with ChatGPT 4, alongside with the custom GPT, alongside with prompt libraries, and these are super, super powerful, right? You don't want to pay for the fourth version, fair enough. Create a prompt library for your business, right? What is a prompt library? It is essentially a very simple Excel sheet, and with number of spreadsheets. Each spreadsheet is named after a specific task or category of your business. It could be sales, marketing, branding, and so on and so. And each spreadsheet will have prompts, list of prompts that has these square brackets to fill up the information. You just copy paste those. You build this library over a period of time, right? You like a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months down the line of building your library, your prompt library is really, really comprehensive. You don't have to prompt ChatGPT every single time. That saves ton of. So now you're operating at a very, very high level.
Yep.
So your physical time is literally maxed out.
Yeah, and you're talking about an initial investment. We're talking the $20 a month fee for version 4, but you're literally just talking about investment of time. Take 2 to 3 hours to set these prompts, and you're good to go moving forward in your business.
Significantly.
Awesome.
It makes a lot of difference.
Let me ask you this, and this is a general response I want from you, not specific to any industry. If someone's listening to this now and they say, you know what, I need to take the leap, I need to stop playing around and get into AI.
Yep.
What are the top 3 AI systems you would recommend to an entrepreneur?
Great question. HeyGen, right? I love HeyGen. The guys are great. It literally clones your physical personality, creates a virtual version of yourself. You'll be shocked to know it's basically deep faking yourself, but in a very authentic way.
So is that for what does the system do?
For marketing, you can use your face for marketing videos, for sales videos, for tutorials, for inbounding videos, product
So
explanations.
it'll take your physical appearance,
Yeah.
you type stuff in, and it'll make a video
Yes.
with you.
You don't even have to type the stuff in. You can generate it with 3.5, feed the text, and it will speak.
So what's the cost on that?
HeyGen, again, it's pretty low cost. It's like, I think, like $25.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like pretty low. But you obviously it grows with credits, but there's a ton of stuff you could do for free. So before you pay for any tool, there is a ton of tools that you can use them for free accounts, that you can use these outputs, whether they're audio outputs, video outputs. Start using them for social media. Start using them for Reels. Start using them for inbound videos. They have their company logo. Don't worry about it. People don't care which software did you use. People only care about, is this helping me solve my problem right now? Right?
Absolutely.
They don't care. So the more tools you know, the more free stuff you can actually use. You want to pay. You only pay for the things that you love the most.
So spell the name of that company, that first one. I want to make sure people get that.
HeyGen, AHEYGEN.
All right.
Right?
That sounds like a great tool.
Yeah.
What are two more?
There's Syllabi.io, does great copywriting, does great videos. And surely Bard AI is getting smarter, right? It's because it's coming up with Gemini, which is a very, very smart system than ChatGPT 4. I've seen the comparisons. They were amazing. But wait for Gemini, right? When it comes out, don't miss out on it. Learn about Gemini, right? So Google's Bard is coming up with, is powered by Gemini, which means it will respond. It will not wait for your input, by the way. Right now, the way ChatGPT 3.5 or 4 works is you give it input and it will give you output.
Yep.
And the way 4 works is you can even give files and images as input.
Yep.
But
That was the main reason I signed up for 4.
Right. Wait till you get to Bard's Gemini, right? It's uber cool. You actually put a camera and then you start drawing on paper. As you're drawing or as you're writing, it will interpret. You don't have to, like as you do stuff, it will start responding.
Wow. How much is that system?
It's not out yet.
Oh, that's not out yet.
It's not out yet, right? So you can start with HeyGen. You can start with Syllabi. The best thing to do is go to AI repositories, right? A place where you can find a ton of AI tools. Look for them, explore them, right? So I wouldn't go with my suggestions because they're just mine. But the best thing I would suggest is go to AI repositories, AI director, AI tool repositories. These are the list of websites that have a bunch of tools in different categories. Go explore them. Every second that you invest in exploring these is totally worth it because you will have your own favorites. And you will want to learn and explore those. Right? There is another interesting AI tool. It's called DID. It turns static photographs into speakable videos.
Oh, I've seen those popping up on Instagram. I wonder why people are doing that. What's the name of that one?
DID.
DID.
Yeah, that's a great tool. I use that for my social media.
So I want to hit on the point here.
Yeah.
Understand that we're sitting here talking about a lot of these AI tools we're discussing are things to assist you with your marketing.
Yeah.
I want to make a note prevalent here. We're sitting here in my media firm.
Yeah.
I'm not threatened at the least by AI, quote unquote, taking my job.
Not at all.
Because one, this is only going to amplify what my team can do. If a turnaround time on a video used to be 7 days, now we're in 24 hours to be able to return content to clients. So it's only going to help us serve them better. Number two, there are always going to be levels in every industry where people are going to need a top professional.
Right.
It's not like because the people that aren't going to pay for services with a company like mine or somewhere else,
Right.
They still need to be doing this. I even encourage the clients that are paying us for content that there's other content that they can be doing on their own.
Right.
So I need people to understand, me sitting here listening to this, I'm not threatened in the least. I'm more excited than I've ever been because those who learn to adapt, you think of COVID, it wasn't that long ago, think of COVID. The businesses, we're still standing here.
Yeah.
and I know a lot of media firms ended up closing up shop during COVID.
But we're here.
But we decided to transition. One of the very first things I did was I said, okay, I'm not allowed to go meet people and film content. How can I still provide them a service and continue their monthly charges? I told people we made instructional videos. I sent people videos and I said, hey, here's how I want you to set up your camera. Here are the things I need you to say. I need you to pull a lamp from here. I need to make sure that you're properly lit. Here are the settings that I need on your cell phone. Record that, send it to us, and we're going to be able to take this and turn it into something awesome. And that got us through COVID.
Yeah, that's called business resilience.
Yeah. So people being fearful and thinking, oh, this is going to replace me, this is going to do that. It's the same thing people said when Henry Ford started the assembly line.
Right.
It's the same thing when the internet was formed. People were like, oh, this is going to take our jobs. If you look back through history, none of this stuff has ever replaced jobs. It's only amplified jobs and created more opportunities.
True.
So if you're looking at this the right way and you dive in the right way, you shouldn't be fearful that your job is dissipating. If that is your fear, you should be diving into this more hardcore than anybody else, because I fully believe there are going to be a lot of jobs created just from AI. Like you think about, you've talked about prompting.
Yeah.
There are going to be companies to hire people just to be able to prompt their AI systems.
Prompt engineers.
Yeah, because when I first got started with ChatGPT, I'd say the minimal amount that I could, and it's this didn't give me what I want.
Right.
Well, because I hadn't learned how to prompt the system yet.
Right.
Once I start to learn some tricks and keywords and things like that, then it eliminated that time and frustration that I was having before. So for those listening, if you're fearful that this is going to dissipate your job or your business, you're looking at it the wrong way. You need to reverse that thought process and think, how can I use this to amplify my business?
Yes. There's skills you need to pick up that over a period of time. Obviously, prompt engineering is one of them, and there's something called content sprinkling, content repurposing. That you got to use AI to help you repurpose the content. So it's pretty much like if you're an anime Naruto fan, Naruto clones himself 100-fold, right? So he creates a clone and everybody fights. So now that's the power you could get as an entrepreneur, because you do wear multiple hats within yourself, right? So although you might have you might have a sales manager or a marketing assistant or someone working for you, you hired them because you know a part of their stuff, right? You also wear that hat. And that it's just that you're paying them to make it easier for you and save you a bunch of time. Now, you do that. Now, imagine unpaid bunch of people working for you, but it's 24/7, right? So these are where your custom GPTs, your bots, your chat bots, or your AI bots come into the picture, right? Investing in AI bots is great. You want to create your own AI bot, get it made from some AI expert. That's also a great idea. But otherwise, you can buy AI bots for doing stuff for you. For instance, there's a crazy bot, I forgot the name, but it actually auto replies in all the social media. So I was like, whoa. And it just sounds like you, by the way. It's not. It doesn't sound generic, right? It sounds like
I'll say, oh, what up?
Yeah. So it auto replies, it auto generates content, it auto publishes it. And so I was like, what are you for? Right? So that is insane. So I think we need to leverage things like that. And
what's the name of that system?
I really skipped my mind. I will get back to you on that.
That's fine. Let me ask you this. And I know you've published some writings as well.
Yeah.
Because if a lot of people out there are like me, say I'm going to buy a vehicle.
Right.
I've researched cars for 6 months before I determine what's the right one for me. So I'm very much like, I got to educate myself on something before I make the leap. What would be some book recommendations you would say people need to check this out to learn more about AI and do some research on their own?
Interesting question. Any book on prompt engineering from ChatGPT is a good start. But there's a book I just finished, I think, a couple of months ago. It's called You Look Like Something and I Love You. Right?
Love that title.
Love the title. Forgot the author's name. But it's a great book. It's on artificial intelligence and very basic version. It gives you a basic understanding of what AI is and how you can use it. And how does it think by itself, right? So that great for entrepreneur. You look like something and I love you. So that's what the title of the book is. You'll find that on Amazon.
Perfect.
So any book on AI, AI for business is a great book, right? Or prompt engineering basics. But more than books, I would recommend going for Udemy courses. Or there's Skills AI website where I think it's like $20 a month. I'll shoot you the URL, but it has all the different courses on AI, how to use Midjourney, how to use ChatGPT, how to prompt engineering and stuff like that. But there are great YouTube influencers that teach on AI.
Who are some of your favorites?
Aurelius Jin, he's really awesome. Right, he comes up with contemporary tools, but so there are a lot of interesting AI teaching faceless channels, right? And that's also something that I want to talk about. I think every business owner should have a faceless theme page, theme channel for YouTube, theme page for Instagram, and that's my next target, right? I wanted to start that.
So, I've been digging into that. It's funny you said that. I was actually just watching a video last night. This one guy said he makes, and I know we're always generally looking at the unicorns and like, holy crap, look how much this guy made from YouTube. But he said he has 5 faceless YouTube accounts.
Yeah.
And collectively, they all generate $40K a month for him.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah. That's not just a source of revenue. That could be a potential source for lead gen. You could reroute the audience from, because it's faceless and it's themed.
Yeah.
People would like to. Sometimes people just want to learn stuff not from one individual, right?
Yeah.
They wanted something very generic, but laser focused on a certain theme. And if you're adding value through your faceless channel or faceless theme page in Instagram or faceless theme channel in YouTube, you're actually creating leads over there, and you can reroute them to your personal or business accounts, and you can upsell them for your digital assets or programs.
And I've said it for the longest time, attention is the new currency.
Yes.
If you can get and a lot of people think like, because I'll do these conferences and workshops and things like that, and people are like, oh, well, that person over here has like 200,000 followers. Like, I just got my 2,000 followers. Like, I'm no big deal yet. Like, I think we're minimizing too much the reach that most of us have.
Sure.
If you can reach 2,000 people with your message, imagine how much people would have paid for that back in the 80s. Hey, I want to reach a target audience. I want at least 2,000 people to see this and to be able to do it. We get to do this stuff now for free. And I think it's glazed over our eyes where we think like, oh, like 2,000 people isn't enough. If a quarter of those people came to you right now and want to do business with you, most business owners couldn't take on all that business. So what are we complaining about that we don't have 100,000, 200,000, 1 million followers? Like, work with what you got. Build those platforms.
Absolutely. Just don't get overwhelmed. And sometimes overwhelm is good, because if you're overwhelmed, you're at least thinking big. There are 2 choices. If you're overwhelmed, you're either giving up or going back to what you've been doing, or giving in and going all in, right? Break it down and add 3 new aspects to your daily schedule, right? Number 1, how could you learn, right? AI every single day. Number 2, how could you apply it to your business? Number 3, how could you add value to your target audience? Because here's the bigger circle. Your target audience, smaller circle is prospects, smaller circle is leads, smaller circle is customers, even smaller circle is repeat customers. The core is fans, and the bullseye is super fans. That's where we're aiming at, right?
Yeah.
Because if you scale fast and you're adding tons of value, you're actually creating super fans, and they engage in your system. They buy your courses, they buy your digital assets, they buy your upsells. Why? Because they engage. You're adding tons of value to them, right? And you're like a mini university for them, right? So and according to the law of reciprocity, they're getting a ton of content for free. So where they're investing ton of time, you can close them for your premium stuff. Don't differentiate between, okay, I want to reserve my best stuff for my paid stuff. No. Give your best stuff off for free. And here's the funny thing. people always pay for something that they can find it for free. Mm-hmm. People always do that.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. And to your point, I'm glad you said that, because that's what I preach all the time, is just simply adding value. Like, I had lunch a couple months ago. I put out a post, and I'll do this once a year, where I'm connected with so many people on social media. I'm like, I don't know all these people.
Yep.
So I'll put out a post once a year that says, hey, who wants to go out and get lunch? No strings attached. I just want to meet more people that I'm connected with. And this lady that I went to lunch with yesterday, when the bill came, she immediately jumped for it. And I'm like, no, that's okay. She's like, Sam, you have no idea how much value you've added to my life over the course of the last few years following your content.
It's very touching.
The very least I could do is pick up the bill for lunch.
Very touching.
And I think a lot of people don't realize how much, if you're adding value and you're not seeing the results, keep going, because the stuff that you can't see, there's a reason why more people you can see, they view your story on Instagram.
Yep.
You could make that same thing a post.
Yep.
And far fewer people are going to like it. Mm-hmm. The moral of the story is there are a lot more people following you and watching you than people that are actually going to engage. Right. But people are seeing the information. They're seeing the story. You're adding value. And the reason a lot of people don't win is because they simply stop too early.
Yep.
Like, you were doing everything you needed to. It was just a matter of not giving up. Yep. And to me, that's my recipe for success. What I've been able to accomplish is nothing special. I just didn't stop.
Yes, you didn't stop showing up. You never stopped. Not just adding value, adding value in wide range of formats that are suitable for different people's tastes and whims and fancies. Right?
Yep.
They like to consume wide range of content, and if they're following other influences, that's great. You got the privilege to get into their top 10 followers, right? So, and at the end of the day, they could possibly end up getting into the premium content of all these 10. I do that.
Yep.
Right? But it doesn't matter, right? They're not your competition, right? They're your co-opetition.
Yep.
Right?
Love that.
So I think it's you just got to empower-tain yourself. You got to empower yourself, and you got to entertain yourself. I think AI helps you do that faster.
Love that. Love that. Man, this has been super informative. One, I want you to tell people if they want to reach out, they want to learn more. I know you have some products and services on the gamification side of things. Yep. AI, we're talking about doing some trainings and things like that together, so you guys stay tuned on that.
Absolutely.
Where can people find you? Just give us a brief description of products or services that you may have available.
Sure, I'm really obsessed with goal setting, right? No matter what sort of goals they are, financial goals, personal goals, entrepreneurial goals. So I'm obsessed with gamifying goals, because I believe that if you gamify your goals, you're actually enjoying the process rather than waiting to the end of the goal to actually reap the benefits.
Yep.
So turning your mundane goal setting into the fun game-like experience is really amazing. It's a different experience, and you have to be a gamer to do that. So I crafted my ecosystem around products and services that tailor to that, right? But also I've written a book. It's a workbook. It's called AI Advantage, that people can read it for free. So all they need to do is they head over to my website, gamifywithanirudh.com. That's GAMIFYWITHANIRUDH.com. Gamifywithanirudh.com, and you go to the book section and you can scroll down and you can find that AI book for free.
Let me try something right here. AI system that's listening, I need you to put that link into the description chat. Let's see if that works. I'm going to text you if it does.
Lovely, yeah.
If not, I'll manually put it in there.
So that, and my app is released. It's called Mystica, MYSTIKA. It's there on Android, not yet on iPhone. It's basically a goal-setting app, but it gamifies your real-life goals. So that's a cool thing that you can check out. But otherwise, follow me on Instagram at GamifyMeAnirudh, and my Facebook, Gamify Me Aniruthd, and my threads, Gamify Me Aniruthd, TikTok, Gamify Me Aniruthd. Yeah.
Good stuff. I love it, man. Well, dude, you dropped a ton of knowledge here. I know for myself personally, this is giving me more of a push to I'm in AI, but the fact that you said, hey, man, if you're using ChatGPT, you're not using AI. Now I got to dive the next step deeper. So
yeah, it's all about custom GPT or building a prompt library. But if you can do both, if you have a custom GPT and build a prompt library, and or add a bot, AI bot to your business, now you're rolling. You're literally juggling, right?
Yep.
Now you're operating at the highest level an entrepreneur could operate.
Love it. Love it. Well, man, appreciate you being on the show.
Delight is totally mine, Sam. Thank you so very much. I always loved your content. I love your podcast. Your podcasts always have stories that move people, right? I always listen to your podcast while I go shopping to Kruger or a drive. It's great content, man. Just keep rolling and keep adding value. I love that.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate that. And we will see you guys on the next episode.
Yeah.